Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cheerleaders, welcome to the episode of Tatami Talk. My name is Juan. This is Anthony. This is a judo podcast for judo players by two judo players. So, we're back. When was our last episode? 2-3 weeks ago?
Yeah, it was beginning of the February. Right?
Beginning of February? Oh, it's mid-February right now, so we're still okay.
It released the beginning of February, but we recorded at the end of January.
We recorded in the middle of last month.
Yeah.
And I'm messaging Anthony. Anthony, you gonna post this show anytime soon right now? I'm in Japan right now. Okay, it's kind of hard for me to do.
I gotta say,
I'm out here.
I gotta say, I really like the new format just because it gives me more flexibility. Like I think it's working out fine. So, yeah.
So, Anthony, did we have, I'm not going to ask you how you're doing because we're going to get into that a little bit later and stuff. Did we get any comments or messages from any of our fans in the last few weeks?
One comment saying how, if I remember this listener, I just forgot his name, but he's from Portugal, and he's saying how it worked. It's basically no change for him. It's already like that kind of system's going kind of semi-implemented, which we did not get to discuss that in the episode about how for certain countries it would be like no effect to them at the local level, right? It's just who gets a cut of what money. That's the only difference that really makes. But I think for us, we talked about mostly for the US and also like poorer countries, how it would affect them. That's the main thing.
It goes just also with someone from Portugal commenting on us like, that's a smaller country. I'm not saying Portugal's tiny or nothing and stuff like that, but it's a
big
small
judo country.
It's a big judo country. I'm saying it's by size. It's a smaller country. And people don't realize how big the damn US is, you know? So it's us, it's just we have so many people, such a big place. That's where it comes to me. Like in a small country like Portugal or something, like, yeah, you probably have a smaller judo, more tighter knit judo community that's all understanding of each other, one federation, one thing, all direct, makes sense, you know? But in the US, we're big. We're freaking huge. People don't realize how big we are. We have 3 major federations and some small chibi federations too that try to get in the mix. So now you gotta get 3 major federations to all align up to go again with the IJF federation. It's just like, I just think statistic for us of how big we are. I don't know how it's gonna work out, but something's gonna happen. Oh, did you get this is a kind of funny thing. Kind of goes with this. Did you get the email from USA Judo being that anyone that wants to get promoted or apply for promotions better have all their paperwork filled out and settled before you apply?
I did not get that email. The email I got, which is what I responded to them with, was that USA Judo, after we recorded that episode, USA Judo sent out an email. This is on February 3rd. And it was subtly like pushing back on the IJF announcement because it was like a week after, a couple of weeks after. They didn't really mention rank directly. It's like rank was just one of the things that was in the email. I'm not going to read the whole email, but basically the whole email was saying, hey, any kind of interactions you do with any sort of international organization, like whether it's Pan Ams or with IJF, has to go through us, USA Judo. You cannot talk to them directly. And that was kind of like on our episode, we're saying like, oh, so if USA Judo says no to my rank or whatever, or says no to implementing this kind of grade structure, I can technically email my own video of me performing this stuff to IJF. That's what the IJF said, right? And just pay the fee. So we can bypass USA Judo, was what we talked about in our previous episode. But now they're sending out this email saying like, hey, you cannot interact with people.
You cannot interact with IGF
without going through me. Yes, that's basically what they said. They did not say rank. They didn't say you can't verify your rank, but it says all USA Judo members and club must contact USA Judo and route all international related matters through USA Judo. This includes, but is not limited to, hosting or participating in international events, designation as a training site, participation in international competition, verification of recognition of rank, international athlete participation in USA sanctioned activity, any formal and informal representation of USA Judo. So I think that was just like their way of like not totally pissing off IJF, but just saying like, hey, we deal with the things, the national governing body stuff. So
we deal with the IJF, not you. Yeah,
so
the email
how is that going to work if they don't implement it and they don't give IJF their cut of the money?
Yeah. Well, it's funny. I maybe got that email. I didn't read it. Like, we get tons of emails every day from IGF, USA Judo, not IGF, but USA Judo and USJ, USJF and stuff. Get all these emails and stuff. So one of the ones that I was reading about ranking stuff was like, oh, I wondered if there's a response to that, what they did. And it was just a thing being like, if you apply, have your shit together. All right. All your application paperwork, all your emails, all your Safe Sport heads up, background check, everything filled out and done correctly before you send it to us.
I don't want to call them out, but I've been trying to get my rank verified through them, and it's been like pulling teeth. And I just find it ironic they send that email out. I'm just going to leave it as that. So
yeah. All right. Well, that's some judo news right there.
Also, USJA apparently had an election.
Oh, did they? I didn't hear about that.
I didn't. We're just talking about emails. I don't remember. I read all the emails, right, from all three federations. And I have not seen an email from them regarding having an election. I just saw a Facebook post even saying, congratulations to everyone just winning by default. Because I'm like, wow, that's great.
Wow, surprisingly, no one ran against them because no one knew about it.
Maybe I missed it, but I don't think you read anything, right?
I didn't read anything about no election.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm not gonna get involved in that. Not that it makes a difference anyway.
So some judo events are happening right now. So the Paris Grand Slam just happened. Anthony, what was your opinion on it?
So as you know, I did not renew my Judo TV subscription because of the terrible reffing. And looking from the highlights and what people were sharing, like how they were calling the Yukos and stuff like that, I'm just like, I'm so glad I didn't renew it. So I mean, there were some huge throws. I saw like a couple, but I think for the most part, what I saw on social media was just people asking why this is a Yuko and that's not a Yuko. That was like
up to
what I think the
highlights
is. Yeah. So I kind of think they're going to do some sort of small adjustment. They have to. Like,
I don't know, man. I will say this: I did see some American highlights of Americans getting thrown.
You sure want to leave that in the podcast?
Yes, I do. Okay, because we got to build a team within 2 years to come to LA.
Yeah.
All right.
You want to talk about? We didn't plan to talk about this, but there's also Olympic trials. Olympic qualification requirements are announced. Do you want to talk about that now, or you want to finish talking about Paris Grand Slam?
We talk about other stuff first, but to me, it's just real quick. It is what it is. You and I ain't going to change anything, okay? Even us complaining isn't going to change anything.
Well, yeah. Right? So again, it goes back to what we said. Like, how does that affect us in the local level? Like, if I was still competing, I would decide not to compete if those are the rules. That's just me. But now it's like we're about to host an two in-house tournaments, right? Like, do we use? I personally am running the kids one, so do we use the old rules or the new rules? That's what I'm thinking right now. Like, on one hand, the dojos we're inviting, they're like, hey, we want to prepare for Taishi, right? The tournament week after it is like a warm up. The in-house is kind of like a warm up for them. So it's like, oh, then we should probably use the new rules.
Yeah.
But I personally hate them, so I want to go back to the old rules.
Well, are you going to be reffing, or are you just going to work the table?
I haven't decided yet because of the stuff that I told you about before we start recording.
If I have to show up, if I have to come and I have to ref, I'm using new rules. Because
for me, our kids don't really compete that much, so it's like I want to stick to the old rules, but for the other dojos that are coming, their kids go to competitions a lot, so I think it would be doing them a disservice if I use the old rules. So that's the conundrum I have, right? But also, if we are using the new rules, there has only been the Paris Grand Slam. What other local tournaments has there been that use the new rules?
Did the Kohaku use new rules?
I think the Kohaku used new rules, but you have to win by Ippon, right?
Then that would be like the only one that's had new rules.
The Kohaku rules are kind of weird because like they called Yukos, but it doesn't. You can't win with it. You can't win with it, like so. Because your Kohaku win has to be with a Ippon or Wazari. It can't be disqualification or Yuko or something. So so it's like, okay, do we we don't have that much data to go off by, because remember, we have the rules in the rule book, and then the rules of the IGF refs, and then the rules of the local refs. They all call it things very differently, right? Yeah. So it's like, okay, we have just one IGF tournament to look at, and it doesn't make any sense like the Yuko calls. So if we go by the new rules, how should we call the Yuko? Should we just call landing on both knees and on your belly in front like a Yuko, like they were doing? So some of these calls, I don't know. So that's a tight one, the hard one to decide. But I'm opting for old rules. Just it's more fair. That's what I think.
All right. Now continue on with rules that Anthony likes or don't likes. Right now, there's the All Japan happening, correct?
Yeah. By weight category.
By weight category. So it's not the open weight division, right?
It's not the open weight one.
Yeah. Okay. Because I had someone ask me about that, and I was like, I think you're talking about the open weight, and that's later. Because that was
the open weight one's later.
Yeah. So how's that tournament going for you? You liking that one?
Oh yeah, it's amazing, and it's so much. I don't miss Judo TV. If Japan
come on, Blue Lion.
If All Japan Judo Federation just broadcasted all their judo tournaments, like even the local level ones, the smaller ones, then there would be no reason to watch Judo TV. Honestly, like obviously the style of judo is different, right? Because I saw people online were discussing about the level of judo, like whether it's like harder to win a local tournament, international tournament, or that tournament. But the style of judo is different, and a lot of it has to do with one is Japanese versus Japanese, right? Obviously, that's the obvious answer. But also the refs are more consistent, and they actually follow the rules. Versus IJF refs are so inconsistent, so people will adapt to the way that the refs call the matches. So the style is just different. So overall, I just enjoy watching it more because it's more fair. The refs barely have any bad calls. Their shidos aren't like inconsistent. Their shidos are very consistent, and it's just overall more fun to watch. So. And I just like watching a lot more. That's all I can say. So if you haven't watched Sasaki Takeshi, I always love watching this judo. It's just so much power and good technique. And he does all sorts of throws like standing seoinage, drop seoinage, yoko tomoenage, regular tomoenage, uchimata. Like he does all sorts of stuff, and he has a really strong newaza too. So watching him has always been a treat.
Now, where can people go to watch this tournament anyways? Because I know sometimes it's on YouTube and sometimes
it's on All Japan Judo Federation's YouTube channel.
Is it there all the time?
Yeah. I haven't watched the whole thing, but what usually happens is that they have a live stream of every mat, and then it'll cut off right before the final block or X amount of time into the final block, because they have like an exclusive deal sometimes with NHK. So it's like within this time and this time is going to be live stream on NHK. So it'll cut off. And then like weeks later, they would upload the individual final block matches back onto YouTube as a recording. Okay. So
that's where I get, okay. So that's when I look at it, sometimes it's like the full matches aren't up here. I can't find everything. It's kind of like how I watch Ryzen nowadays. Yeah. I can't find a live stream anymore. It's tough to buy it on their web. Well, for me it is with stuff, but they'll end up putting their matches up like a week or 2 weeks later and stuff, or sometimes a month later. So that's how I watch Ryzen now.
Yeah. And that's what like, Japanese judo is doing a really good, like All Japan Judo Federation specifically is doing a really good job in marketing and how do they say this? Marketing and trying to grow judo in Japan. Like you can tell they definitely upped their social media game, the graphics that they're using for all their tournaments from the local level to the top level in the country are also like much more higher quality. Let's just say they're not using weird AI stuff, like
ugly ass terrible AI.
Yeah, like
not calling out anybody.
We're not going to go into that. So it's like, and then they're also making these matches available to be watched, and they also recently started a new series. I shared it on my Instagram. Obviously, you have to know. I didn't translate it, so you have to know Japanese to actually understand. But they started. Is it Judo for All? Yeah, it's called Judo for All, I think. series, and they talk about how there's less and less people training judo, like in Japan. There's less and less people entering the judo system, kids. So they're in a crisis. There's less instructors. There's less and less instructors, and how they need to teach judo for fun and not for competition, and like all this other stuff. I'm just like, wow, I did not expect that to come from all Japan Judo Federation, right? So
they're changing their ways. They're like, oh shit, maybe we're gonna soften up a little bit.
Well, it's one thing to, because it's a very, what you call, top down approach to things, which is not you can see from other aspects of Japanese culture how it is not always effective. Like how the government has tried to implement plans to balance work-life balance, like implementing things saying like, oh, you have to, for example, like there's on YouTube, there's this clip of how the offices will actually have an auto timer to shut off all the lights in the office to try and get people to go home. But then you'll see like the lights turn off, and then like 10 seconds later, they'll all turn back on and stay on for a long time. So it's like all these things that they try to put a top down approach in, and it doesn't really necessarily. I don't know how it is in Japan right now, but they don't necessarily work that well. Is what I'm saying. So it's one thing to say something, and it's another thing to implement it. Yeah. And I mean, USA Judo is the same thing, right?
Yeah. Well, it's kind of funny because for my judo trip, and with me training judo in Japan, my friend was telling me, he's like, well, it's always about trying to get me to move to Japan sometimes with certain people. And it's like, oh, you know, Juan, you could teach judo here in Japan. Like, no one wants to learn judo from an American guy that doesn't speak great Japanese. All right. It's like, that's just the way I see it. Like, you have all these great judo players. But like, oh, no, you'd be surprised. And
you can teach wrestling.
I could definitely teach wrestling or just grappling, period. I definitely teach that. But I was like, in my head, I'm just thinking, like, no one wants to learn judo from an American in Japan. It's like the craziest thing about that. But now thinking of what you're saying about like how Japan's trying to change the image of like making judo more fun, like, well, maybe that's what they meant. Like, hey, we're trying to look for more fun, different instructors, or they're looking for more play. Maybe that would be me or something. But I still don't plan on moving to Japan. I can visit, but I don't think I can live there.
Yeah, so check out those videos. I mean, I don't think they're subtitled. Let me check if they're subtitled. Yeah, they're subtitled in Japanese.
Great.
There's an auto dub feature. Yeah, there's an auto dub if you want to use that. Nice. It's kind of freaky when I use that feature sometimes. But
make it look like an old kung fu movie.
Okay, so USA Judo announced the Olympic qualification requirements. I already mentioned I don't really fully like it. So not that it matters to me, right?
It ain't matter to us. We ain't making an Olympic team, all right? Unless something crazy happens, I need a 43-year-old to be on there. By the time the Olympics come out, I'll be 45, 46. Yeah, I need a 46-year-old in the Olympic team.
So they are for those of you that have been at the President's Cup last year, they kind of hinted this kind of system. But basically, if you are top 15 in the world in your weight category, then you are automatically selected. And by the way, this is based off of my memory. I didn't pull it up, so fact check me. But top 15 in the world in your weight category, you automatically get selected. And if there's more than one of you, which it doesn't apply, I don't know how that's going to apply. More than one of you being ranked top 15, then you're going to fight best out of 3 for the spot. So right now, there's only 2 people that meet that criteria. One is Jack Yonezuka, and then the other one's Maria. What's her name? Maria Laborde. Yeah, the Cuban judoka that immigrated here. Yeah. So those are the only 2 people that qualify for that category, that qualification. So by some miracle, if someone else gets into the top 15 in the world from now until 2027, I guess, then they're going to have to fight best out of 3 for the spot, right? In the case of if there's no one in the top 15, what they're going to do is do an Olympic trial. But how do they qualify for the Olympic trials? You have to qualify for Olympic trials. This is where I don't like it. They're going to look at President's Cup and look at the 2 USA national events. So they're going to look at those 3, and then also I think it was potentially one more tournament they haven't decided yet. They're going to look at the performance and then decide who gets to go to the trials. So to me, that's kind of subjective, and
politic their way in.
Yeah, they didn't say like, oh, if you medal that you automatically qualify or anything like that. It's just saying they're going to look at your performance there, because they want to. On one hand, you can say what I said, which is like, you can play favoritism. You can say like, oh, that guy won with sloppy Yuko, so I don't think they deserve it or something. But on the other hand, you could say they also want to put into account who has been competing internationally, like because what happens if someone comes in and has never competed internationally, but just wipes the floor with everyone in all 3 or 4 of those events, right? So who do you give it to, right? The guy who got second place but has been competing all around, or the guy who got first place and wiped everyone on? Let's just beat everyone, right? So I can kind of see that on why they want to implement some sort of subjective criteria there. But I mean, again, there's just people are going to say stuff, right? If you're going to...
I don't remember if this is correct or not, but didn't USA Judo say they wanted more of the Team USA to be competing at President's Cup and the national championships? Didn't they say something like that a while ago? Like they wanted more Team USA members to compete there?
They tied funding to it. I think
that's what
they were thinking of. That's what they were thinking of, but they never did it because they don't have money. So
this kind of like an evolution of that idea of like, okay, well, we want to get these international players or Team USA members to compete at these big tournaments, maybe get more name recognition or something. Like instead of just competing at Pan Ams or going to Europe or Asia or something, like you have to defend your spot, which I think they should anyways. But yeah, it's gonna be objective if you're not top 15, and that's gonna be tough.
Subjective, you mean?
Yeah, that's subjective. I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
because a lot of Americans aren't going to, like, just saying that it must be top 15. It's like, how many Americans are in top 15? And you just said two.
Yeah.
That's it, you know? So, like I said, it is what it is. It doesn't apply to us right now. Who knows? Maybe we'll have a player in the next 2 years that's going to be amazing or something, but you ain't going and I ain't going. Well, we are. We're going to be the audience, actually. We're going to get some tickets to go.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe we'll get some press badges. It's a Tatami Talk.
Yeah, right. Not after this episode goes out. But, yeah, it's not going to affect us. I just think if you ask me for my thoughts on the criteria, I think it should just be based off of the trials make sense, but how you select people for the trials, I think should be fully objective, should not be subjective. Just say like if you medal at any of these X amount of events, then you're in the trials.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's simple, and then now you can do like a bracket. Right. So, but once again, I had a discussion with someone about this, but we're going to be potentially bringing back the title of Olympic alternate. Olympic alternate is once again
people are going to be claiming that again.
Yeah. So it's once again going to be potentially a thing, because I assume whoever gets second place is going to be the Olympic alternate on the trials, and then whoever gets third place is the alternate. And the only reason that's coming back is because we're the host nation and we have to fill a team. That's the only reason. But we're gonna see a lot of, like, Ajax is prepping for the Olympics. Like, we're gonna see a lot of older.
He's looking good, Ajax. You know. I've seen his videos and working out and stuff. I'm getting pumped. I'm like, I should go visit Ajax.
We need to bring him back because he moved to Netherlands to. I'm assuming prep for this because of the level of US training here, but yeah, Ajax is there. So I'm assuming a lot of these previous people who have retired from competition will come back to try and make it to the Olympic team, and it'll be interesting in a sense. I mean,
and if anyone wants to come on the show and talk to us about it, please message Anthony.
On one hand, it's interesting, but on the other hand, it just shows how bad of a shape judo in the U.S. is, right?
I got one more news. One more fun stuff. So, Anthony, what are you going to do Saturday, May 16th?
Recovering from knee surgery.
Well, you better get your knee bent because we're going to the Intuit Arena. All right, we're going to the Intuit Dome to watch Ronda Rousey versus Gina Carano. All right. Ronda Rousey is coming out of retirement. All right. The woman that put judo back on the map in the US is coming out of retirement after 10 years of being out the game. And she's going to fight Gina Carano. Some of you guys may know her, some of you may not know her. She was a Strike Force fighter. I want to say she was a champ, but she was a Strike Force fighter. So you might know her from back in the day, the remake of the American Gladiator series and stuff. She was on some other shows. She's had some very controversial, I'm going to say she says some controversial stuff also, but I'm not going to talk about that right now. And she hasn't fought in 17 years. And these two ladies are going to get together and have an MMA fight. Five 5-minute rounds at 145. It's going to be on Netflix. It's being held under MVP Promotions because UFC didn't want to do it. So Anthony, what do you think about Ronda Rousey, the American judo queen that put judo on the map, that got ladies to get into judo again in America? Because I would always get that. I was at the dojo at the time. We would always get a little influx. Every time she had a fight, we would get a few young girls, a few women that would come get interested in it. Sadly, none of them really stayed.
You're trying to get me into trouble, aren't you?
No, I'm not trying to get you in trouble. I'm pumped for this. I'm getting tickets. We're gonna get some very high nosebleed seats. Probably.
You're serious about this?
We are going, Anthony. We're gonna get some press badges too for this one, also. Okay.
Okay. I'll just say I have zero interest in it.
Oh, come on, man.
I'm trying to think of what to say without it coming off as bad, but
chauvinistic pig.
I don't want to compare it to like Mike Tyson coming back out to box, but that's kind of like the same logic, right?
Yeah.
I just don't have any interest in it.
So right now, the odd makers have it that Ronda is a favorite to win because of her grappling and her speed of how she would.
Oh yeah, I think Ronda will win. If you're asking me who I think will win, I think Ronda will win. But I don't. I just don't care though.
What do you think about Netflix getting into MMA space? Because Netflix has hosted boxing matches. They have WWE fights. They have WWE on there right now. The international. I think they're the pay-per-view holders for the international cards and stuff. But now they're getting into MMA. Do you think if this does well, maybe they'll keep in MMA? Do you think if Ronda wins this fight, that she'll have more fights under Netflix?
I think it's too early to tell. I think this is them trying to like test the waters. Because I have not kept up with MMA in a long time, so what I'm saying might be out of date. But last time I checked, like MMA profit, like the UFC's profit, were dropping. They're still making money, but they're not growing, right? Which is why they end up having to sell to WWE and all that stuff. And also, the point I'm trying to make is that there's not going to be growth in MMA any further once the hype dies down. Because how do I word this? Someone has to invest in the pipeline, right? Otherwise, it's going to go the way of boxing. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, I don't understand.
Okay. Where boxing doesn't really have like a huge, how do you say it? Doesn't have a proper pipeline of talent going through. It's just a pile of broken bodies that never made it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then it's like once in a while you have this like super hyped up like person, and then they do matchups and make a lot of money for that like few fights of their career. But there's no like, it's not like the golden age. What I would deem the golden age of MMA, where it's like, oh, there's Dominic Cruz, there's DC, there's like all these big names. Because now it's like, you think about it, how long have we been watching MMA for? It's the same names. And it's
I think just because right now we're in a thing where the UFC has kind of figured this thing out that we need to make the brand the star, not really the fighters the star. The fighters fight, who cares who win and lose and stuff. I think it's more that they're trying to. I know,
and eventually people are going to get bored.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. So they need to really invest in the pipeline and the fighters, and having a pipeline of people coming through the system.
Well, this can go two ways, and this is if Ronda or if Gina decide to stay with this, or what happens, or like I said, just Netflix decides. So Netflix could become kind of like how HBO or Showtime were, where they just hosted the big fights. You know, if it wasn't on pay-per-view, it would usually be on HBO or Showtime. Like old dog like me, I remember those days and stuff. You know, you get Showbox and all that. So they would host the fights, but there would be an organization that was the one that would be running it. So I don't know if Netflix would be like, okay, well, this MMA fight did really well. Let's host more because they haven't shown that with their boxing.
yeah, I can. It cost them. What was it? Cost them to host it?
Yeah, because with their boxing, they've never shown it. Boxing. They've had some interesting fights on there, but they're just hosting the fights. They're not like this is a Netflix heavyweight championship fight or something. Kind of like how the UFC.
I can see that. I can see that done. Yeah, but
so if they continue to host fights, but for this fight, it's being run by MVP Promotions. So then my second thing goes to, well, then would MVP become more of a federation and create like an MVP title?
Let's just stop talking about it and just watch ONE FC. That's all.
No, we should be watching Ryzen and UFC. It's funny. I love MMA. Like, I love MMA. I watch almost everything. But even me as a hardcore fan, I've gotten so annoyed with how the UFC has been running the company and doing stuff. Like last night,
same. That's why I don't watch it.
Like last night, normally I watch everything for the most part. And sadly, I've been missing fights lately. Like last night, Sean Strickland fought. And I had no interest in watching that guy fight. So I didn't watch that fight at all, And I wasn't like, oh man, I missed that fight. I still watch the highlights and stuff. I watch my YouTube channels. I talk about the stuff, but it wasn't like, oh man, like it was a great fight. Like, no, it's Sean Strickland. He's gonna decisionate the guy, and he didn't. He actually did finish the dude. Surprisingly, Sean Strickland actually got a finish, and I might get some heat from people that's a huge fan of his and stuff. And there were some okay fights on the card, but I wasn't like, oh my god, I missed that fight. That really sucks. Where back in the day, I'd be like, oh my god, I missed that fight. I'm super pissed off on myself that I didn't get to watch a fight. I have to just watch highlights.
So let me ask you this: do you like watching what they call stand and bang kind of thing? Like they stand like kind of what Max Holloway does?
Yeah. To me, I like all aspects of martial arts going for a finish.
See, I don't like that.
Whether it's going for a striking finish, a submission finish, whatever it's trying to finish the fight. That's like I like watching. I'm not a huge fan of decisionators or people that just try to win by points. Unless it's like very dominant. The guy's just on him the entire time beating him up.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that either. But
yeah, but if they're just on the person just beating him up the entire time, it's like, why don't you just finish him?
For like some of them treat it like they're actual gladiators and how they just stand there and like do things that don't make any sense just to hype up the crowd or get fight of the night bonus kind of thing.
It's kind of like there's three people that fight, in my opinion. This is not getting philosophical about this. There's martial artists that fight, like the George St. Pierre's out there and stuff. Yuri Prohaska is martial artists that go out there and fight to test themselves. Leo Machida. Then there's guys that are just out there that are just prize fighters. They just go out there to fight for the money. They don't love it. They just do it because they're good at it. They just fight for the money. Prize fighters. And then you just get people out there that are, I don't know how a nice way to say it, but it's mostly just those two. There's a third category, but I don't want to talk about it right now because it's going to sound bad when I say whatever I say and stuff.
When I like watching MMA back then because there's a lot more closer matchups and it was a lot less of like you say winning by points kind of thing and a lot more technical exchanges and like for example Khabib is a great example. Like he just wrestle fucked everyone, right? Like just like you can feel that the bottom person cannot do anything. Yeah. And it just got control the whole time. So those kind of fights I like even striking, like, I don't know. I can't think off the top of my head without thinking Muay Thai, but like Sanchai, you know who I'm talking about? Like Muay Thai.
Yeah.
Like how he fights people or Bukau, is that his name? Like how the technical side of the striking is really interesting to me. But nowadays I feel like UFC has their top talent is like now over the peak, right? And then the new up and coming talent just don't have that skill. We talked about this before because they don't pay them enough. So less and less people are like going down that path, right?
Yeah.
So, just the cards, most of them are just really low level grappling and striking. And we're seeing more stand and bangs that I talked about where they're just like stand there and wailing each other. And a lot less of the technical stuff, and also a lot more of what you said, like winning by points. So, that's why I don't enjoy watching anymore.
But to get back to what we're talking to about Ronda Rousey coming out of retirement, I hope it's a good fight. I hope she wins. I hope she wins dominantly, shows off her judo again, so that we can get a little influx of judo women and judo people. Because that would happen every time she would fight. Every time she would fight, we would get a few people come in interested because they saw her. And to me, it's just whatever's going to get our sport off the ground more And even when I was on holiday, when I was visiting my family up near Sacramento, when I was training at a small dojo, they had a woman actually showed up one of the days I was on holiday out there asking about judo because she saw Ronda Rousey. And I was like, see, it's effective. It's happening. I'm not seeing it now with Kayla, but with Ronda, it was happening. So let's see if it happens again, you know?
Yeah.
And it'd be cool if we have just 2 judo women doing well, if we can get that influx into judo popularity wise, whether it's for women, men, children, anybody that just brings them more into their judo world. That's all the news happening. Man, we went for a long time with talking about news, but last weekend you went to a clinic, and I know how much you love going to clinics.
I really didn't want to talk about this on this episode, but you insisted. So
I
let's
super
do it.
insisted.
Yeah.
So you went to the Maruyama Clinic. It was here in LA. It was at the LA Budokan in downtown LA, near Little Tokyo. First of all, how's LA Budokan?
I mean, we reviewed it. It's just as bad as I remember.
Well, no. You went there for a sumo match the first time. I'm asking, how is it set up for judo this time? How many mats did they have?
Oh, the mats. They had rollout mats, I guess, from tournaments, but the problem was the tape kept coming off. So there was like some people tripped over the bumps. My toe got caught a couple of times in between the cracks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's fine for a seminar, you know. So
could we hold a tournament there, you think?
Like, how many people are you talking about?
I'm asking
like,
you, how many mats can we fit in there?
Oh, how many mats? 4? I would say 4.
You could hold 4 mat spaces in there?
Yeah.
With audience or without audience?
With audience. Without audience, I think you can do 8.
Oh, wow. See, the complaint that always was that it's too small. You can't have a judo tournament there. You could have 4 mats. That's a perfectly fine judo tournament size.
You know what? I don't know if I sent it to you, but I sent it to one of my group chats and to Philippe last week. There's a Japanese kid that's really good, by the way. And his parents like record his tournaments. And I'm like, wait, are they doing randori? But like, no, they have like 15 kids on one mat at the time doing 15 pairs of kids doing shiai at a time on one mat. Like one what do you call it?
Fighting area,
one mat, like one tournament mat, basically. And I'm like, oh, that makes so much sense. That way we don't have to sit there the whole day because some 5-year-old, 6-year-old is like taking up the whole mat and then we have to go through all of them. But I can totally see that being an insurance liability. But they basically, the way they did it, and I'll probably link it in the description, but they have like one referee for each pair, and the referee kind of makes sure those kids don't fall into other groups and stuff like that. But they had like tons of kids on one mat going on at the same time. It's like amazing. But obviously then there's no push out rules and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah. So all right, so they had 4 mat fighting area spaces. You said it was decent size. How was parking in downtown?
Oh, it's terrible. So the parking in the garage, we talked about it last time when we reviewed it, it was like always full, right?
Yeah,
it was jam packed. So I had to park in the shady ass parking lot next door, next to a homeless encampment, and there was like human feces on the floor.
Don't you talk shit about Joe's parking lot, okay? Joe's is great. All right.
Well, also the first day, I think there was some sort of protest going on or something. So the guy, I realized I got lied to afterwards, but I was getting out of my car to walk to the pay station to pay. And then the guy was like, hey, you got to pay. I'm like, yeah, I'm walking to the pay station to pay right now. He's like, oh, no, that's broken. And then he's like, you got to pay me. I looked at him. He had a Joe's Parking Lot shirt on. So I kind of also, okay, so he's not just some random guy asking me to pay.
All right.
But he's like, it's $20. And then I gave him $20. He gave me a ticket to put on a dashboard. Then I realized after day 2 that because of the protest, everyone was the scheduled protest or whatever, or a fair, they decided to upcharge. So they charged $20 when it's supposed to be $10. Because the second day I just went back to the machine and paid, and it was $10.
Oh man!
So I realized they just hiked the price up last minute, and then they also jammed the spots are really tight, so I had a hard time pulling out. So
we're just talking about how the Budokan and how it is out there, because I still have yet to go there. I was gonna go train there one day, but it's funny. My funny story with the Budokan is that so they have judo there on Thursdays, and I guess they have a weird schedule about when they have judo, because it's supposed to be like every Thursday and stuff. So I guess in a month, if there's more than 4 Thursdays, they don't have class on that Thursday. So I drove out there, had my stuff, had my gear, went to go train. One, they don't have a locker room. So
Oh,
they
you
said,
actually trained at the Budokan.
no, I wanted to go train there.
Okay, Simon trained at there. You can ask him for his
Yeah.
experience.
So I wanted to go train there. One, they didn't have classes that day because it was the fifth Saturday that month or the fifth Thursday that month. So they didn't have class and said they had like some fair thing going on, which is kind of cool. So I went to that instead. But I had questions like, okay, well, where do they train? I looked at the basketball court areas, like, that's pretty decent size. I said, well, is there like a locker room to train at to change? And they're like, oh, no, we don't have a locker room. We didn't change in the bathroom. I'm just like, we spent all this money on this Budokan, and they couldn't even make like there's two small locker rooms for men and women to change at.
That's the thing. I had to go into the storage closet to change because I'm not changing. I'm not going to change in the bathroom.
Gave you a storage closet.
Yeah, which made me realize like how many people actually changed in the bathroom. Because that's just kind of disgusting now that I think about it. Yeah, that's also they gave us these stamps on our hand right when we checked in. They put a stamp on our hand, and then when I went to the bathroom to pee, I washed my hands afterwards.
It came off.
And it came off, right? And then on the mat, I was like, I remember seeing you in the bathroom, come out of the bathroom. And I looked at their hand and their stamp is still there. So I was like,
nasty.
You did not wash your hands. So, yeah, but I guess that's something we deal with at dojos too. So,
all right. So that's a review of the LA Budokan right there. How was the clinic itself? How's it trained with Maruyama?
I mean, to summarize, just go listen to our seminar instructional episode. I have nothing else to add on that. I will say, I mean, the following Tuesday when I started teaching, I went over. I gave the class I was teaching that night 3 options. Right. I was like, I can go over everything that they went over in 2 days, word for word, or I can show you what I thought was useful or interesting, or we could just pretend nothing happened and just run the class. And everyone voted for option 2. So I just went over everything and it only took like half an hour. Really, just go back and listen to the episode. We talked about seminars and stuff. Like everything was word for word happened in that sense. Everything from how they put a rank requirement, but white belt showed up, to the point where people can't do some stuff that he showed, to how he was just like showing typical Japanese stuff. And but if I had to summarize it, it was basically a Hanigoshi and Sode Surikomi Goshi seminar. That was basically it. So,
well, it's funny you said that he's just teaching traditional Japanese stuff, because I did hear from other people that went to the clinic that he did teach his own, like he did teach his Hanagoshi, his style.
Yeah,
and he
straight up said he does Hanagoshi.
Yeah. So he did say, so I did hear that he did teach his style Hanagoshi, or his style Uchimata. That's Hanagoshi, he said. And that he did teach his style Tomonage as well.
That the Tomonage was only in the invite only session.
Oh, was it invite only session?
Okay. Yeah. So
you gotta be invited to get the specialty stuff.
Yeah. So this is why, again, if you go back to visit the seminar episode, I said like we basically subsidized like certain people's privates with him, basically. That's basically what it was. I can go in more detail, but if you're interested, DM me about it. I already talked to some people. Some people DM me and asked me how it was, and I gave them the rundown. I'm not going to say it's bad. I just think it was overpriced. That's all I will say.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I wouldn't have went, right? I was actually dreading going the day before, not because I'm Maruyama, first world problems, right? It's because I knew the parking was going to be shit, and also that was the same weekend as Chinese New Year's. But honestly, there were some really useful parts that he went over, but that was not like part of the program. It was kind of like prodded out of him by the questions that people asked.
Well, at least he was open to teach you guys some stuff that someone asked, and he wasn't.
Yeah, like someone was like, when they do this, what do you do? And then he would like go over the grip thing. When I'm like, okay, that's really useful, but why did you not just like teach that, right, instead of teaching Hanagoshi? But so there was like bits and pieces of information like that was really useful. So it really depended on people asking the right questions. I mean, he also said certain things like someone asked something about Kazushi, and he was like, "Yeah, there's no Kazushi first." So he said, which I think a lot of instructors would like flip out if they heard that, right? If I said that, even though I've been saying that, but
you're not Maruyama.
I'm not Maruyama. Yeah. And in fact, we had a visitor that came to one of my classes come up to me one day, on the first day, and he's like, "You went over all of this in your class." I was like, "Yeah." So, I mean, I personally just got a lot out of the Sode Tsurugomi-goshi session. Yeah. So that in itself, I thought was good. So when I taught that Tuesday class, I talked about a lot of it was on Sode, not on the Uchimata and stuff, because my class already went over my Uchimata thing, and that's basically what he taught. So, I'm not talking about Hanagoshi, because he actually got questions about how he did Uchimata, and he actually showed how he did certain things from Uchimata, but I already showed that in class, so I didn't have to go over it again. I mean, that's what you get if you study his competition clips. You're gonna get that. And also this is an interesting part, from the questions that certain people asked, you could totally tell who watched the Hanpan TV video about the lies of judo. So, but yeah, it'll be interesting editing this part of the podcast after this.
So you're talking about how like there's like you paying for your thing, subsidize other people from getting their private. So this one, it's a lot of seminars will do this, though they do one way. They'll either have certain classes throughout the day, or they'll have just everybody at there at once. Like when what's his name? The French instructor when he came, Yanzi. When Yanzi came, it was everybody in the mat, same time, all day. We're there for 6 hours, everyone training.
So yeah, go ahead.
Finish. So there's no specialty of like, oh, kids here, adults here, teens here, and stuff like this. This one with Maruyama, they had kids in the morning for 2 hours. Then they had open adults and teens for 2 hours. And then later was the master specialty class. And you're telling me, so people don't get confused, like, oh, what do you mean they had this thing? And he also did some private class, not private, he visited, I'm doing air quotes if you're on the pod. He visited some dojos also while he was here in the area.
So let me clarify. So you're asking all the right questions of things that I was going to avoid talking about. So
because
I'm just going to straight up say it and then cut out parts that I don't think should be public. So, I know a few people, like we had one kid, for example, that signed up to the first session, and I know other kids from visiting other dojos, right? So I asked them, like, what did he show in the first session? And what he showed to the kids was exactly the same as what he showed the adults on the second. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I know some senseis actually participate in all three. But from talking to the kids, it's the same thing. It was like Hanagoshi, and then Sode Tsurugomi-goshi. So the stuff that would be different would be the questions that the people asked and what he showed in response to the questions. So the Q&A was basically the most valuable part. Yeah, if anything, the Q&A was like the best part of the what do you call it? The seminar. So there was that. And then do I, as an adult, want to learn the same stuff that some yellow belt, green belt, and kids learning? Yeah, like that. But I totally felt like that was what I was learning, so it makes sense. And the third session, I know some of them got to do Ronda with him a little bit, so I understand why they want to separate it and invite only, because they don't want any dumbass to come in and do like Kani Basami or some crap to them. So it made sense to limit that, but at the same time, I'm like, hey, I wanted to learn Yoko Tomoe from him. Why was that like not part of the adult session? Right. So I understand why it made it invite only, but at the same time, it's like, oh, because you put a green belt environment, but all these people showed up aren't at that level. Now you can't show Yoko Tomoe, or it was overpacked, and we know why it was overpacked. I'm definitely not getting into that, but it was jam packed, and it could not be, probably not safe to do Yoko Tomoe there. Because of how packed it was. So I kind of understand that, but at the same time, I'm like, hey, I paid the same amount as these guys. Like, I get the invite only session, but why do I not get the same information, right? So that's how I feel about it. But if anything, I talked to someone about it, was I actually want to take a seminar or private from Harasawa in Texas. So that might be the next thing I do.
All right. So for a guy that hates doing seminars, you're going to go to another seminar.
Well, I really struggled on whether I was going to sign up or not. I actually really thought about it for a long time, but then I was like, if I knew it was Chinese New Year, I would not have went.
If you would have remembered, you knew, you just forgot.
I don't think about Chinese New Year until like a month beforehand. So, but if I knew, this weekend there's also Chinese New Year, there's also some other stuff I had to deal with. If I knew that, I would not have booked. In fact, we had 3 members that paid and didn't go.
Did we?
Yes. We had 3 members that paid and did not go.
Okay.
So
okay, I know one off the top of my head. I'm pretty sure I remember one. I don't know who the other 2 are though. We can talk about it later though. But yeah, this happens.
So we had 3 members that paid and did not go, and I was actually considering not going the second day. But in the end, I'm glad I went because that's when he went over the Sode stuff. But yeah. So if I knew ahead of time, I would have not signed up. That was busy that weekend. But if I had nothing else going on, I thought, hey, why not? Like when is the next time Maruyama is going to come to LA, right? So he's also super nice, super respectful. Like that was like the best part. And it was funny watching all the girls fangirl over him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you could tell like some people were there and it was like they're just there for their boyfriends or husband or something like that, and they were all like enamored by him. So it was pretty cool seeing that. That was basically it.
All right.
Is there any other questions you want me to ask?
No. I don't want to put you on a hot seat anymore. Okay. I'm glad you had a good time. I'm glad you learned some new stuff, and you're.
Oh, we had the board meeting. That's what I had to go back and forth.
Yeah, for the board meeting that day too. Yeah. And you got your theories proven to you at the end of it. I'm glad.
Oh yeah, like basically it kind of verified what I was teaching already, because I was basically reverse engineering what I see and then teaching it, right? So him saying that, with the exception of the uchikomis, I think it was kind of like the same as what I taught.
All right. So that was Anthony's experience at the Maruyama Clinic. I always encourage people to go to clinic for themselves, see how they like it, but don't have very high expectations. Like Anthony said, like there's certain things where they have to dumb stuff down to the lowest common denominator. I'm sorry. So
yeah, which is what the Yoko Tomoyanagi missing was, right?
Yeah. It's more like I always say, it's a meet and greet. You're going to go train your favorite person, or just maybe just be in the same room with them.
Sorry. I have one more thing to add.
Oh, one more thing. Okay. So before I go to Japan.
Other than at the end where I took a photo with him, and I also asked one question that apparently was well liked, but I did not interact with him at all. So he said that there's so many of you, I will only come by and help you if you can't do what I'm showing you. So because I could
stupid. I don't know.
I know. I was like, because I could do exactly what he showed me, because that style of Uchimata Uchikomi, I've been doing it for years. He never came by. I'm like, so if you want to interact with Maruyama because you're a fangirl or whatever, just pretend you don't know how to do it. Yeah. All right. So
this Uchimata is just so hard. I just can't get my leg in correctly. My arms aren't working right. And wacky inflatable arm man, you know. That's actually kind of funny, but yeah, it makes sense. That really does. All right. So back to the last thing we're going to talk about this episode today is my trip to Japan. So I know a lot of people are probably turn off right now. Oh, Juan in Japan, out.
Where's Maruyama in Japan? Like, did Maruyama in Japan?
No, actually, I was in Japan where he was. I think he was in LA at that time already. But is what it is. So some of you may or may not know, I went to Japan on holiday. I went for 2 weeks. Now, as some people thought that Juan's in Japan, he's gonna be training every day, every other day, going to dojo everywhere and stuff. I only got to train 4 times. I only got to train 4 times, 2 days. So I did 2 days of training, 2-a-days. So the first day I got to get some training in finally was that I went to visit some friends in Chiba Prefecture. Way down bottom Chiba Prefecture, like way at the bottom tip.
Chiba's to the east of Tokyo.
So it's that hook. So you know when you're Tokyo Bay, that hook?
Yeah.
I'm all the way at the end of the hook pretty much.
Okay.
So I went to a friend's place that has a kickboxing gym. He has a restaurant and kickboxing gym. So I went and kickboxed with him. We had lots of fun and stuff, hung out. It was great. That was my morning session. If everyone ever in Chiba, I'm gonna post where I've been training at and where I was at, my trip and stuff on the Instagrams and all that. Post all the things there. I recommend going to any dojos I've been to or these gyms I've went to. Go there, train with them. They're great people. They're nice. I assume they're foreign friendly because I went there, so to try it out. So the first place I went to was
But did you need an invite because you're a family member, or you
yes and no.
like an intro?
I don't know because I just go places. I know Anthony's a very polite and be like, I need to get permission first. Me, I just go and see if they say yes or no.
Well, a lot of them will be too nice to say no, honestly. But
hell yeah, America. So I went to train in a kickboxing gym, really nice place. A little small, didn't have a ring, but that little area that they fought and stuff. And I did that for a morning session. It was fun. Then later the afternoon, I went to this high school gym in Chiba. I can't remember the name of the city exactly, and I don't want to give the wrong name out to people, but it's this high school gym where they had high school students there, some college people, some adults. So I guess it's the high school's club, but it's open to the public or open to anybody. I don't know if anybody or how open it is, but there was a wide range of peoples and ages training there.
It's kind of like when I went to Yokohama with Richard. Yeah.
Yeah. So I went there, had a very good experience. No one there didn't want to practice with me. People were interested in me. They came up to me. They wanted to train with me. They wanted to do newaza with me. They wanted to do tachiwaza with me. I did a lot of randori. There were times when I would because I would get tired. Some of these kids are like really young kids, high school kids. Just I'm totally angry. I was like, hold on, young man. I gotta take a round off, dude. I'm tired now. All right, you're making me work too hard here.
How long was the training for?
So the class said that it was a 2-hour class. I think it was 2-hour practice, but we went longer than 2 hours. So after like almost,
I was going to say, kids only doing 2 hours of randori doesn't sound right.
Yeah. So after like in almost 2 hour, 15 minutes, I was like, all right, I got to go, guys. I got to catch the bus back to Tokyo. Sorry. So I took the photo with them and all that stuff. And it was really cool. And the way they did their sessions was interesting too, because they did randori first, then a bunch of uchikomis. They didn't go over any techniques and stuff. Then they went over just like...
It mirrors what we talk about, right?
Yeah. Did a bunch of like throwing drills where they were just like, not exactly Yakusego Geiko. I always forget what's below Yakusego Geiko, what the name of that
Kakari Geiko?
I think, is that what it is?
Where just one person attacks and the other defends?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
So we did a bunch of that and then we went into randori afterwards. But like I was saying, these kids and adults, they would come to me. If I took a round off, the instructor would like tell someone, hey, go with the foreigner and stuff, and go with the visitor. And they would come to me, and no one said, no, I don't want to go with you, or like totally avoiding me like the plague. There were 2 guys that were like training really, really hard, seriously, and I didn't get to train with them. But like
you got to train with them?
No, I didn't. But I got that. It was like, no, they're training really hard for something, so let them be. You know, I'm not going to bother them. And be like, hey, I want to go with you two since I see you guys are good or going hard. Had a really fun time. One of the guys that was training there, you might see him in my photos. He's wearing the black BJJ gi. So
I was wondering what that.
Which is weird that they allowed that on their mat. I thought because a lot of places I went to when I trained before, it was like white gis and like the instructor or some of the co-instructors there had blue gis on, but almost everyone else would wear white. So this guy was there with this black gi, nice guy. I think he's a college student or at least in his 20s at least. But I think he was a 3rd dan, he said. And he had a blue belt, maybe a purple belt in BJJ. But that's just a gi that he wore and they let him wear. And I was very surprised. And he wanted to do a lot of tachiwaza and newaza with me. He wanted to try out his newaza.
Yeah.
And I think I surprised a lot of them with my newaza and a lot of my techniques. But it was just a really fun, good experience. And I'll say it's a better experience I had there at this local gym, this high school, than what I had at Kodokan.
I was going to... That mirrors my experience, right?
Yeah. Because my experience at the Kodokan, instructor was super nice.
You didn't go this time to the Kodokan.
I didn't go this time because Yusan and Moss hurt his finger. Even though I just a month ago
both shoulders
messed up my shoulder and I still trained when I was there, it was all taped up. All this upper half of me, it was covered in tape. All right. I look like a damn rainbow with how much tape I had on me. All right. But Yusan didn't want to train. He kind of like, oh, I don't want to go. I don't know if I want to. It's like, well, then fine, we won't train.
Yeah.
But when I did hang out with those guys later, Moss was like, next time you come on, we have to go to Kodokan again. And Yusan was like, well, can we go to your dojo instead? And Moss was like, no, my dojo is boring. I'm like, no, you just don't want us to embarrass you.
He is right. His dojo is boring.
Was it?
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't think he just wants us to embarrass us at his dojo doing something stupid or like, this is my American friend.
His dojo is very, I mean, we talked about it. It's people just go in and train and then leave. Like,
there's nothing wrong with that. Super cash. I'm okay with that.
Like, no one really talked to me while I was there.
No one talked. Well, that was my experience when I went to the Kodokan. When I went to Kodokan.
Oh, the same thing with Kodokan, yeah.
Yeah, with
only
Yusan
the foreigners talked to me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
With us, there was 3 foreign players there. An Indian kid. I want to say the guy may have been like Georgian or something, and another guy.
I feel like if you go to Kodokan for Randori, it will be mostly to interact with other foreigners, not for the Japanese.
Well, the Japanese, when I went to Kodokan, like they just or the Asian brothers there. I don't know if they were Japanese or what they were exactly, but they avoided us like the plague. Like they didn't start talking to Moss until like class was almost done. They finally warmed up to Moss, and I was like, whatever. But so my Kodokan experience wasn't the best, but going to this high school place, great experience, fantastic. Yeah. They all wanted to work out. They talked to me a little bit and stuff. Just a great time. I gave them our business card for Hollywood Judo. I told them that they're ever in LA, come visit us. If they have an interest of like wanting to come to LA for something, please contact us. And just like, and I build they would say build that pipeline between us. I'm just like, tell them, hey, we're open. Judo's a universal sport. We're family. We're all judo players here. If you ever come to America, you ever come to LA or Southern California, please come visit us. All right. We're always accepting visitors.
Yep.
Okay. So that was one day. Very tiring. Like I said, super tiring. They're like, oh, do you want to take showers? Like, no, I actually got to get this bus. So I got to leave now. Yeah. So at the train station, I took like a bum's bath really quickly at the train station and stuff. So I knew I probably smelled the train. I was like, oh my God, they probably think I smell terrible right now. I've had like 4 workouts today.
That's okay. Yeah, there's plenty of people that smell terrible on the train.
So the my second day of training, which was later that week, was on Thursday. So I'm kind of calling Omigawa's dojo, Neo Judo, kind of like my home dojo because I've trained there now. Like
you're a traitor.
No, that's my Japanese home dojo because the first time I went there, he was super nice, super open. He literally told me, "I'm so happy you came and stuff. Please come to my judo class and stuff." When I showed up, because I got the train late to get out there, and his dojo's a little far from my hotel, so I got there like maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes late. I showed up. And 2 of the guys I trained with and Omigawa-san looked at me like their eyes are like, oh, you're here. Oh, and I was like,
did you message him beforehand?
No,
that you're going. No, okay.
He knew I was in Japan. He knew I was in Japan. He knew I was in Japan because he's liked my Japanese stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, so I know he knew I was in Japan.
Okay, but it's not like, hey, I'm coming in March, like just so you know, like.
Well, here's one of my problems. When I've messaged dojos and gyms to be like, can I go train there? I never get a response back.
Oh, I message anyway and then just show up.
Yeah, I message in English. I'll message in Japan. I never get a response back. So I'm like, just show up, see what happens. Mm-hmm. So I went to Omigawa's dojo for his no-gi grappling class. And I showed up. He was very surprised. They're all happy. Like they were happy I was there. They said, oh, go get changed. Go get changed. So I got changed, did his no-gi class, stayed for his open mat afterwards, did some randori with 2 of his players. Just one female came. What
was his class structure like?
So it was a lot of newas at first. And
so
then
there's no warm-ups, like traditional warm-ups?
I got there late. So remember, I got there 5 minutes late. But yeah, there was no like traditional warm-ups. Even when I went there on time the first time I went, it was just go in there and let's just kind of like do a little light movement warm-up and let's just get into moves. So the class first started, we did some Newaza techniques. Then we went to a takedown into Newaza. And then his favorite technique that he's taught, like every time I've gone there, he's taught this technique over and over again. It's his go-to is the Von Fluke choke. He loves the Von Fluke choke, but it's not the crossbody Von Fluke choke. It's almost like a Tate Shiho or Yoko Shiho Von Fluke choke.
Okay, so it's not from a guillotine then?
No, it's not from a guillotine. But we did go over guillotine also when we were there. And he was just showing like a little thing that he does to get it tighter.
You're going to have to show me next time you're in the dojo.
Yeah, I'll show you. But yeah, so trained with him. He was super happy. He gave me a discount when I tried to pay him. I was like, okay, well, here's my money. He's like, oh, no. He gave me like some back. And I was like, are you sure? He's like, oh, yeah.
This is why when I visit clubs now, like even in America, I try to bring, unless I know for a fact they're going to charge me full price. I try to bring gifts now, like food or snacks or something, because it's like, because they're being, it's just.
Well, that's one thing that I always do. I always bring a bunch of Hollywood Judo shirts with me. So I gave Omigawa one of our, the first time I went there, I gave him the gray one. This time I gave him the black and red one.
I'm never doing that again.
Why?
Because I lugged around 30 shirts all around Japan, and I still had like 10 over. And
really?
I just hand them out randomly and brought back like 5. Yeah.
So I gave Omigawa our new shirt. He was like, oh, kakui. Like, he thought it was really cool. And never in my life did I ever think that I would get to do randori with Omigawa, you know? Japanese national team member, fought in Pride, fought in UFC. I love his fighting style and stuff, fought in Shuto, old school. Did I ever think that I'd get to do randori with them? And both times I've got to do randori with them. The first time it was very light, just him throwing me around, having fun. This time we were a little bit more serious. And he was like, from what I gathered from his Japanese, my English and translation, like he really likes how I use judo in no-gi. When we do open grappling, he's like, he really likes how I actually use judo. And he just said that he really appreciates it and likes it. I was like, well, that's my whole thing, brother. I use judo in all my grappling. I bought one of his rash guards and he told me like, oh, I have his extra large. Is that okay? And I was like, yeah, it's going to be fine. So it fits me a little snug, but it's fine. You know, I'm wearing it underneath my gi anyways, so it looks great. So that was my experience with Omigawa. If you're ever in Japan, go to his Neo Judo dojo. Go to his gi class, go to his no gi class. They have BJJ there as well. To me, he's always been very nice. Seems like a great guy and stuff. And if you're ever there, just say you're from Hollywood. Just lie. Just say you're from Hollywood Judo. But don't make me look bad. Don't make me look bad, okay?
Yeah, Juan says it's okay to do Kari Basami.
Yeah, Juan says because that's the dojo I go to every time now when I go there. I try to go there a couple of times. So, yeah. If I ever move to Japan, that might be my home dojo. Far from Tokyo. It's almost an hour train ride, but I do it. The fourth gym I went to is Yushin Okami's dojo. Yushin Okami's gym, not dojo, gym. He has an MMA gym just open. He was teaching at, I can't remember the MMA gym he was teaching at before, but wasn't able to make it last time. But this time he finally just opened his own gym. And the funny thing is that most people now when I talk about, I'm like, oh yeah, the guy from, was that Ultimate Asia? Was that, whatever that show's called?
Physical 100.
Physical Asia, yeah. The guy from Physical Asia.
Okay.
I'm like, no.
I tried watching that. You know,
yes, Physical Asia. But I'm talking about the UFC fighter, okay? Yeah. The badass judo guy that used a lot of ashiwaza, put people up against the fence, take them down, judo control, 85er, okay? So the first thing I went to his dojo is that one, on his schedule, the week before I left, I checked, they did grappling on Tuesdays and Thursdays. It's like, okay, so I have Thursday free. I'm going to do Omigawa in the morning. I'm going to do Yushin Okami at night. I get there, and I'm at the front talking to the front desk lady, my broken Japanese and stuff, and she starts speaking English. Like, oh, thank God you speak English. Good. I talked to the front desk person. I'm like, oh, I'm here for the grappling class. She says, oh, grappling? And she looked at the schedule like, oh, no, today's MMA. Right now it's kickboxing, and then after that is MMA. And I was like, shit, what do you mean? I pulled up my phone. I was like, you changed the schedule in a week, didn't you? So since I'm already there, I'm not going to be like, oh, well, I can't practice now. I told him like, oh, I don't have gloves or kick pads with me. Is it okay to practice? Like, oh, no, you can borrow some. We have loaners also. I'm like, okay, cool.
That's the thing in Japan.
Like loaners. Yeah. One funny thing about the boxing loaner gloves. So you had to put on like
wraps,
knit gloves.
Oh.
So what they did.
So it soaks up all the sweat?
I guess. So they make you wear knit gloves, and then you need to put your hand inside the boxing glove. And then when you're done using it, you spray the knit gloves with alcohol and put them in the dirty pile, and then the gloves you spray and clean with the alcohol also.
That makes sense for loaner.
Yeah, I'm like, that makes total sense. That's actually a great idea. Yeah. Why don't we do that in America? So I pay my mat fee there, which was a discounted rate because they just opened, and they're telling me that if I choose to stay, this will go towards my monthly dues. And I told them, well, I'm just here on visiting. I can pay full price. I'm just here on a holiday. Like, oh, no, it's okay. You just pay the discounted rate. It's okay.
Yeah.
So I went in, changed. I trained a little bit in the kickboxing classes, used as a warm-up, did a little shadow boxing stuff, talked to Mr. Okami, talked to Yushin Okami and stuff. And I remember in UFC, they always say he's one of the biggest Japanese you'll see, and he's huge for 85. And I was like, I've always known he's been a big guy. And you see in the photo how big he is to me, okay? And if you see how big he is in the photo, I'm like, look how big this is. He's bigger than Anthony, all right?
Oh, is he bigger than me?
Oh, he's taller than you at least. He's maybe an inch, maybe a little bit taller than you. And I'm like, this fool fought at 185. I fought at 185. I can't imagine fighting this dude at the same weight class. But I know also they used to say that he would suck down, drain himself a lot to make 185. So It was really cool training with them. I did a little bit of the kickboxing class. I did the MMA class where we started off doing boxing first, then boxing to takedowns, and then did some stuff off the fence. I'm like, oh, totally off the fence stuff. This is what Yushin did all the time. This was his style right here. And I told him like, hey, I loved your style. I loved your Ashiwaza. And he's like, oh, you recognize my Ashiwaza? Again, super nice. Was really polite. And he's like, yeah, just take it easy. Don't go hard. Take it easy. Don't strain yourself. It was a small class. He's 44. I'm 43. He's like, oh, we're still young, but we need to take it easy, though. I'm like, yes, we do, brother. Yes, we do. I gave him the Hollywood Judo shirt. He was like, oh, thank you. Like, he was really appreciative of it. And he was so nice. I'm like, man, is this motherfucker being fake to me? Because he's been like, oh, super overly nice.
Customer service. Fake.
Yeah. I'm like, this guy's being too nice, I think. But he seemed like a really cool guy. Again, happy I visited. Told me to come back again. And again, I never
spoke a bit English, right?
A little bit of English. But again, it's through my bad Japanese, his English. And I had to only pull out my phone like one time to communicate with them. Because they had this kid, and I don't know if it was Yushin son or maybe close family member, what it was, but he was just getting beat up by me. He got beat up by Yushin. I got beat up by another guy. I told the kid, like, when I was your age, the same thing used to happen to me.
He spoke English?
A little bit of English also.
Yeah.
But it was a really cool experience. And like I said, never in my wildest dreams would I ever think that I would get to box and then MMA grapple Yushin Okami. A guy that beat Anderson Silva, a guy that people hit me up on that one probably, a guy that fought for the UFC title, the current Shuto middleweight champion, okay? I would never thought in my wildest dreams I would get to spar with this guy. And it kind of reminded me when I was a kid, and I used to go train at AKA part-time, and I would train with some of the guys out there and be like, now I'm like, oh my God, this guy blew up, he became this, he became that and stuff. But it's like me becoming a kid again, you know?
Yeah.
Of like, dude, I used to love watching this dude fight. I love watching him use his judo. And he was like very happy. And he was another one. I was like, oh, you recognize my judo? I was like, yeah, dude, I'm a judo player. You're a judo player. I totally loved your Ashiwaza stuff, how you use stuff against the fence. But when he got me in MMA, man, he got me. Like boxing, I could hold my own. I could do fine. I don't know how hard he was going and stuff. We were having fun. But we started doing MMA. And he put me up against the fence. All right, I had nowhere to go.
I'm looking at the photo. Does he have a fence? Because it looks like it's
Oh, so on the other side. So where that we're facing right there, it's just wall. But the other side that's behind us, there's fences right there.
It's a pretty big place. Seems like
it's a really good sized place. It was almost
given how big you say he is.
Yeah,
and I'm looking at the scale. I'm just like, that's a pretty big space.
Yeah, like I'll say his gym is probably like 2 times the size of our mat area.
Yeah.
Plus a little workout area and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
But so he put me up against the fence. I tried to throw him. He reversed it, took me down. I had him in guard for a little while. Then he passed my guard, and I was like, shit, I can't do nothing from here. I can't push out with boxing gloves on. I'm like, I'm so screwed. So I gave up my back, and I turned back to my belly. I gave up my back for a little bit to try to stand up. And I was like, I can't get up from here. So I turned around. He got me in Tateshiho. And then I started joking around because like I'm being beat up. I got nothing else to say. So I was like, where's the ref? Where's the ref? Where's the ref at? And he goes, yeah, where's the ref? Where's the ref? So we're both cracking up as he's beating me up. And I was like, this is great. This is awesome. You know, I was super happy, having a great time. It's funny because I think a week later, that's when Robert Whitaker went to do a clinic there. And that place looked packed during the Robert Whitaker clinic. Yeah. It was like packed in there. But when I went to go train, there was maybe, you saw in the photo how many people were there. So
there was like a few. Yeah.
Yeah, a small class. But again, the gym's growing. He was telling me that he trains most of his fighters or people that still fight during the daytime and classes for everybody's at nighttime. And I was like, makes sense. You know, you don't want some of your fighters are training for a fight or preparing to get hurt or train with some stupid person at a regular class. Totally made sense to me. But yeah, go train Yushin Okami's gym is another great place. I loved his judo style and the way he mixed it in. So this trip for me for grappling, I think was better than my last trip. Because my last trip, I did the Kodokan.
It was just Kodokan. Yeah.
I did Kodokan, I did Snake Pit Japan, and I did Neo Judo. So out of those 3 places to these 4 places, like Neo Judo, I love that place. I like going there all the time. I get along with Omigawa a lot, so, or at least we seem to get along when I'm there.
So if you were to go back, let's say next month with me, right?
Yeah, I know. Yes.
Let's say we go back next month with me, and I was like, "Hey, Juan, let's go train together." And there's only 3 places you can go to out of the 2 trips you've been to, right? Which 3 places would you pick, including Kodokan, obviously?
Kodokan. I would go to Omigawa's gym definitely again. That's my number 1 place I would go to. Probably Yushin Okami's again. And third, I'm not sure. Because as a judo player, we're obligated to go to Kodokan.
I don't know about that. I've kind of like mixed feelings.
The 2 places in Chiba are cool, but that's a long damn train ride. That is a super long train ride to get to Chiba.
Well, if you land in Narita and then you stay in a hotel, because Narita is in Chiba.
Yeah, technically.
Stay in a hotel and then you just go straight to train before you make your way to Tokyo. Then
yeah, but I had a great time with these kids and the adults and at the place in Chiba. That place is fantastic. Oh, I got invited to possibly train with Morale.
Oh yeah. You told me.
Sanshiro. I told you about this.
Yeah.
So, how do you say his first name again?
Sanshiro
Morale.
Yeah.
Which is a 90 kilo guy, which is funny because I'm 90 kilo. Well, I fight 90 kilos too, but this is legit, like world class 90 kilo. Okay. This is like
cutting
badass.
Down to 90 kilos.
Yeah. Badass.
Around 100. Yeah.
And I told Yusan and Moss about that. And Yusan was like, good luck, Juan. And I was like, screw you, Yusan. All right. I'm still out here fighting. All right. But apparently another one of my family members out there, the dojo that he teaches at is Morale's home dojo. So I sent you the video of him training with them. I sent you the video, right?
Yeah, you sent me a video of them training together. Yeah.
So, and he's explaining how to do Otogari.
When you say home dojo, it's more like the dojo he grew out of. It was like he grew up with. Well, because his home dojo is his company dojo, technically.
Yeah, I guess technically, yeah, you'd be like that. But I'm just like your backup dojo, whatever. But the train that he part-time trains or his old dojo and stuff is the one where my cousin teaches at. And I was going to go train.
Oh, he actually teaches. You didn't tell me that.
Yeah, it's a dojo that he teaches at.
Okay.
People learn a lot about him today. God, again, it is northeast of Tokyo, somewhere out there. I don't remember these names. I'm terrible with these names. I'm sorry.
You're going to have to tell me, like, on your Google Maps or something.
Yeah, Google it. It was around this area right here.
I want to go to some of these places. Like that high school you went to seems chill. I want to train at high school.
They're really cool about everything and stuff. But I almost trained with him. I was going to train with him on a Sunday. The Sunday before I left, we were supposed to go train together. But then my cousin, apparently Morale was well, maybe Morale was going to maybe be there. That was the whole thing. It's like, if he's there, cool. If he's not, cool also. All right, I don't get drilled by this guy with his Sotogari. My cousin had something to do. We had to actually go somewhere. His wife planned something, didn't tell him or whatnot. I forgot. So we had to cancel. But it's cool. Next time we go to Japan, hopefully I can train with him again. Or I do get to train with him. Whether I train with him or not, or just dojo, but that's another dojo I plan to train at. Now, like I said, all the dojos I've went to, gyms I went to, have all been really nice, except for Kodokan. Like I said, instructor super nice, but people there didn't want to play with me, and Yusan and Moss for the same reason, or for some reason. One thing that I did notice, this thing that we talked about, is that growing up wrestling, and even at MMA gyms, BJJ clubs, music is playing, if not all the time, but a lot of time you're doing drills. Okay, wrestling, when we do warm-ups, music's always playing in the background. And then when we do like just free sparring and stuff, we still have music playing. Every gym I went to, even the high school gym, had music playing the entire time.
I told you it's like the norm now.
I know. It's like, well, we talk about this because like in America it's normal, but in other places like, oh no, you never play music during class. It's weird. It's like it's not normal. And my thing is always that I don't want to offend nobody as an instructor. I don't want to offend nobody if something comes on my playlist or something just comes on my
even during Randori, they kept it on?
Even during Randori.
No, I would turn it off during Randori. That's just me. But because
So
I already have a
yeah.
low voice.
Uh-huh.
So I think it's really important that people hear what I say, like especially for safety. So
Well, with the high school, it wasn't on super loud. That's one thing. It's not on super loud. Like it's
okay.
been on louder. I've been to like MMA
Yeah,
gyms
but
and BJ
Japanese senseis
places.
are loud.
So this music wasn't loud, but like every gym I went to, whether it was the high school one,
Mhm.
Omigawa's, Yushin Okami's gym, the boxing gym I went to, the boxing kickboxing gym I went to, all had music playing the entire time. And I was thinking, it's fun. It gets energy up sometimes. I'm wondering, like, should we bring that into our teaching? What do you think? Because I've tried it before and didn't have complaints about it. I did have complaints about like, oh, this kind of old music since they won. I was like, it's safe. So that's kind of reason why it's kind of older
I
music
mean,
and the safe music.
Jimmy Pedro was asked this question in one of his
Mm-hmm.
interviews, and he said, like, if it helps retention, why not? Right? Is
Mm-hmm.
his answer. For me, it's not about retention. It's about why. Like,
Mm-hmm.
does it help? Like in anything? Like, if it helps with morale and then get people pumped up for a workout, which is
Mm-hmm.
what, like, you go to any like group classes in a commercial gym, they like a spin class, they have music, right? Can you
Yeah.
imagine like doing spinning with no music?
just
Right?
listen to the sound of those wheels
Yeah.
moving.
So it's like, what is the purpose of the music? So I think it's, if you can get it to hype people up for a warm up or just get people more in tuned to practice, then sure, because it can get pretty monotonous. For me, it's like what the effect of the music does. So
Mm-hmm.
that's what it does. And if people just want to play music just because they want to have music in the background, then sometimes it can be distracting. And other times you would see this is a, correct me if I'm wrong because I'm not a real runner, but I've read something about this. So for those of you guys who run out there, let me know. But I think there's a school of thought out there where you don't want to play certain types of music during running because that affects your pace. Like you're running to the music instead of modulating your own pace, and I think that could also backfire in judo where people like start fighting to a rhythm. Does that make
Mm-hmm.
sense?
Yeah.
So
No,
I
that makes,
think
yeah.
there are effects you got to be
See, that's why you
considering.
gotta play techno music or a dubstep or
Well,
something. That way they're not the same beat the entire time.
that's also why I wouldn't use that in randori. With the exception, you know how some people you want them to be, I don't like using this term, but this is going to get the point across easier, like aggressive, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like if you play some like high energy pump, like anime battle music, then I feel like people would be more aggressive in the sense.
All right,
So
that's it. Next class, one OK Rock the entire class session. All right.
only the old stuff, not the new stuff. But anyway, we're going off on a tangent on that.
Yeah.
But that's my stance on music. I haven't been able to play around with it, obviously, so it's just my personal opinion.
Mm-hmm. So that was my trip to Japan, my martial arts part of my trip to Japan. I always want to do more days, I get more training in, but just shit happens. And luckily, I got 4 training sessions in 2 days, which a lot of people were like,
How
"Oh,
does your body feel afterwards?
fine." Like it felt normal because we trained hard at. The only thing that got me was just a little bit of cardio with the high school dojo.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that got me was cardio because I had to take a little more breaks. But it's also because I said I re-injured my shoulder just a month ago. I haven't been running, haven't been lifting weights, haven't been doing a whole lot of stuff. So just going out there and be like, I'm here on holiday. Let's go. Let's do this.
That's one reason I'm not going to train on this upcoming trip is because I have surgery coming up and I haven't really been training. And
Yeah. Well, you haven't trained your past 2 trips to Japan.
yeah, because of my knee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you gonna take a walking stick this time?
I actually just ordered on Amazon. It's coming to me today.
Oh, God love you, Anthony.
No, I'm serious. Like, because I plan to do some hikes and my knee is like not like last time. I really struggled, so I'm gonna have a hiking stick this time.
Yeah. All right.
So one last question. How
Okay, go ahead.
How was it training with Japanese judoka there? Like, I told you what I thought about it. If you listen back to like 2 years ago, the episode, but how is it different from training with people, let's say from our dojo or like in general in America?
At the high school gym that I went to, I'd say that there were a wide range of people there, but they were all a little bit more serious.
Was there a lot of grip fighting? Were people like stiff arming a lot? Were they like
No one was stiff arming.
taking throws? Like they weren't
People,
like fighting to the death?
no one was fighting to the death, or at least no one with me was fighting to the death. There wasn't a whole lot of grip fighting, but I knew I caught a lot of them off guard because I'm a left-sided player now. Because
of your
I'm fully left-sided now. And I've noticed this when I go visit other dojos and stuff, where it's like I'll immediately get my left-sided grip on somebody to be like, how did you get your grip on me already? How'd you get a grip on me? I'm like, because I got left-sided. You don't protect your left. Very few people protect their left.
That's very interesting because I would think there's a lot of lefties in Japanese high schools. So
yeah, that's what I thought too. But it could just be that since they were nicer, they were letting us get grip. I wasn't grip fighting. No, I wasn't like doing patty cakes or nothing.
That's kind of my experience too. Like nobody really, we just kind of gripped, and it was very playful is how I would describe it, which is refreshing.
Yeah, some of the more, I said like with the adults and the BJJ one, he was more like, how'd you get that grip on me? And how'd you get like, I said, I got this beautiful Uchimata on him because he was so bent over. And I have a decent Uchimata that I use when I have to. It's not pretty. It's usually ugly. It's usually very, very ugly. But just because he bent over so much, I got this beautiful Uchimata. And I was like, God damn, why did you get that one on camera? And then I got a beautiful, which I was trying to go for, another one was just hip fighting. And I just went for it and it turned into an ukigoshi. And the instructor was like, oh, ukigoshi. And I was like, yeah.
How receptive were they to recording? Well, that's another thing.
They didn't say anything. They didn't. Yeah. Again, they didn't say anything, but I was trying to be respectful of it, not doing too much.
Because a lot of the Japanese places that I went to straight up didn't allow recording, or when I asked for a photo, they're like, we don't do that here. So
when I asked for the photo, they were a little bit weird. Like, you want to take a photo with us? Like, yeah, I want to take a photo. You guys were like, okay,
exactly.
Let's take photo. That's why the photo looks so weird and awkward and stuff. Because like they're just like, okay, guys, let's take photo with this foreigner.
Yeah.
Yushin Okami's gym, they were really cool with. I didn't have enough time to take any videos there. Just took little videos of the gym and stuff. Photo with them, totally cool with. Omigawa, they always take photos in that gym. They always record all the time in that gym. So he was just like,
some more marketing. Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
For profit versus not for profit.
Yeah, you know.
That's something we don't do often in our dojo too, unless we have visitors. We don't really take training photos, which is a norm in jiu-jitsu. I was just like, why are we taking photos right now? Like,
yeah.
So I don't.
We only take photos for our dojo. We only take photos during promotions, very large classes, and visitors. Really.
Yeah. Well, we got to up our game.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions, Anthony, about my trip to Japan?
No. All right. Wish we should go. We should do a trip together one time.
We should take a trip together. You know, you can come visit my my friends and see how you like it out there. Hopefully, you don't get hurt. Bring your walking stick with you.
No, I feel way much safer training in Japan than here. So,
all right. So with that, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. You can follow me at _Juan on Instagram. You follow Anthony on Anthony Throws on Instagram. You can follow Tatami Talk itself at Tatami Talk on Instagram, as well as following us on Threads on Threads. The Facebook, no one goes on it, so it's inactivated. But you go send us stuff if you have any questions you want to go through, videos you want to look at, any questions you have for us, always at tatamitalk@gmail.com. You can also follow Anthony at the newsletter at what, Anthony?
TatamiTalk.com. Yeah.
TatamiTalk.com. That's the website right now. That's simple. I always forget it.
Part 2 of the part 1 of the Eco series did really well, actually. Part 2 is coming up soon. I just have to I need to sort out the recording location, basically. Not the recording location. The recording subjects.
Okay.
So, yeah.
We need to get some guinea pigs. If any guinea pigs out there that like to come train with us, please let us know.
I have certain people that are available, but then people will be like, oh, they've done grappling before. Oh, they've done jiu-jitsu before. So it's not like, but then I realize I can't please anyone. So I should just say like, hey, take my word for it. This works with beginners. Like, that's,
why would you guys don't believe BJJ guys when they say this, but I say as a judo guy, suddenly you can't believe me.
But yeah, that's being hashed out, and hopefully I get that recorded before my knee surgery, because then otherwise it'll complicate stuff.
All right.
Yep.
So with that, don't forget to
go to Japan and train at Neo Judo. Apparently that was your favorite spot, so I named that. We're not sponsored by them, by the way, but and slap the mat while you're there.